Estelle. Estelle was the illegitimate child of the Duke of Emerald. Originally, she was destined to grow up on the streets, since she is a girl who can't inherit the Duke's position and will be ostracized due to discrimination. However, she was a saint that possesses powerful divine power. That was hard to find, which led her to the Duke. Estelle's awakening of a divine power surpassed that of anyone in the Empire, ultimately leading to her becoming the saintess, and as a result, the reputation of the Duke's household was elevated. "You have to listen to live a good life." Her mother gave her over to the Duke for a few bucks. At any rate, Estelle has always tried to follow her mother's advice, to lead a life of goodness for others. Estelle held the belief that there is always a possibility for things to improve. However, "You're dirty." Estelle was heavily slapped by a red-haired woman. The red-haired woman is her half-sister, Flandre. Estelle was astonished about what suddenly happened, but this is actually a normal occurrence. "It's better for you to be fed as fertilizer for livestock. How dare you even come into our household?" That's right, Estelle was severely bullied almost every day by the Duke's family that took her in. Her half-sisters always find fault and harass her even though she is already a saintess. But even if so, Estelle didn't give up. Estelle thought that if she tried as hard as she could, they would open their hearts to her and treat her as their own. She always risked her own life for them to endure their torment. People didn't know how many times she has almost met her end because of the corrupt Duke. Nevertheless, Estelle still loved the people around her and didn't despair. Despite not knowing everything that occurs within Estelle's home, people still have faith in her. This also gave Estelle strength, and no matter what terrible mistakes they made, Estelle always forgives them. 10 times, 100 times, even 1,000 times, Estelle never gave up, and always tried to love them as much as she could. Estelle's sisters, in particular, subject her to physical abuse and then casually and lightheartedly apologize thereafter as if it was not a big deal. Sincere or not, Estelle forgave them all. And so, Estelle's efforts finally paid off. A man calls out Estelle's name as he kissed her hand. "I love you, my beautiful son." That's right, the man is the crown prince of the empire and Estelle's lover. As time passed, Estelle's fame grew, and she began attracting all the prominent people of the empire, including the royal family. As naive as Estelle was, she thought that she was finally rewarded for her efforts, and felt like the happiest person in the empire as a result. However, on the day she turned 23, she suffered a terrible betrayal. Why? Estelle questioned her family as she is currently tied up. She is bound by numerous chains and tethered to a pole, preventing her from moving. She was screaming for help, but it didn't matter what those words were about to her family. It broke her heart to realize that the people who cursed her were the very people she had tried to love her entire life. Estelle could hear multiple voices, including those of her sister and friends, as they mocked and laughed at her. A human sacrifice, that's the situation she is in right now. She fell into a terrible conspiracy of her family and was offered as a sacrifice to the devil. A saint is the best prey the devil covets. They became offerings made to the devil to satisfy their desires. "We'll make an offering. I want to sign a contract." Her family happily offers Estelle to the devil. "No, please, someone save me." Estelle had no idea what horrific things that devil would do to her until it took her away. Estelle cried out in frustration, but those people didn't budge. At that precise moment, Estelle's and a man's gazes collided. It was dark, but she could recognize him at once. It was the fiancé she loved, Prince Garnet. "Please, please, Garnet, please save me." But Estelle had to feel the despair of falling into the abyss. Her fiancé, who said he loved her more than his life, turned a blind eye to her. Then, a gruesome voice rang out. It was from the devil, who maniacally laughs at the situation. It was an offering of sacrifice in cooperation between 5 of the 6 dukes who ruled the empire. Being the sacrifice, Estelle had no choice.
As expected. You humans are like us. You betray and think only about yourselves.
The ominous sound reverberated across the air.
This is such a noble soul that I've never seen before.
The devil approached Estelle as if she was a very valuable meal as she trembles in fear.
You offered me a generous offering. I will grant all your wishes.
Estelle watched as her family heartlessly demanded their wishes, showing no remorse. So, in an unknown corner of the empire, a human was horribly sacrificed. Estelle's soul was taken to a hell called Gehenna. Years passed. Inside the Gehenna castle, a woman was hanging from a chain. A devil was singing happily in front of a woman. Estelle's soul was more noble than anyone else. As the devil said, her soul was the most noble soul it had seen. Her soul captured the hearts of the Gehenna devils. The devils craved for a glowing soul. The more noble it is, the more glowing they are. The devil quickly loved Estelle's soul, but it wasn't the kind of love humans had. Estelle's soul dimmed faintly. It has been going on for 600 years since she was sacrificed. Estelle's been through all sorts of pain since she was subjected to excruciating torture. The devil lives forever. However, one day, the devil said something unexpected.
Your soul is about to disappear.
It was shocking information. Her soul would soon perish. It was due to the agony she had endured in Gehenna for the last 600 years.
I should have been more careful. I think we've taken you too far because you're so lovely.
The soul has a limit to how long it can last. Estelle, unlike other sinners suffering in Gehenna, did not commit any crime on earth. There's only one reason she's suffering like this. It was because of her enemies.
What should I do? I don't want to let you go.
The devil spoke with genuine regret. Estelle sighed. The perishing of the soul was not the end. Even when their souls perish, they become a part of Gehenna and be subjected to eternal agony.
Look, there will never be a soul as lovely as you.
It wasn't just saying that. The devil looked at Estelle's soul. It wasn't as brilliant as it was when she first came to Gehenna. Most of them were dyed black, but there was still a glimmer of light. It was a surprise. Her soul, which had been sent into hell, fragmented over time. And yet there was still bright. The devil is enthralled by the dazzling light. At that moment, the devil suddenly had an idea. The devil was impatient, but it could no longer touch her. If it really touches her more, her soul will perish faster.
You, Estelle, have suffered so much here, and those who betrayed you are so happy.
The devil tries to manipulate Estelle.
Do you want to take a look?
Gehenna's time is completely different from that of Earth. After the devil said that, several scenes popped up in front of Estelle. Her lover, her sister, her so-called family. Initially, Estelle blamed the devil, but later on, she blamed those who had put her in this situation.
Take a good look at the faces of your so-called happy family.
The devil showed her Flander being pregnant, her other half-sister with her lover. The Duke was carrying his granddaughter with joy, while the Crown Prince was acknowledged as the heir to the throne.
Everyone is living a happy life by sacrificing you.
The devil continued to tempt Estelle.
This handsome man here was your fiancé, wasn't he? He met a new fiancé and was preparing for a happy wedding. Oh, his new bride is your most precious friend, Marriott. Now this is your sister, Flandry. Unfortunately, she looks happy, right? She's pregnant too. She held a grand wedding ceremony right after becoming as the next saintess. Everyone is living a happy life thanks to your sacrifice.
The devil did not stop.
How about it, Estelle? No one cares about your suffering.
Stop! Estelle screamed. The room vibrated slightly. The devil trembled seeing the brilliant light of Estelle's soul swaying, and felt unbearable pleasure every time he saw that brilliant light diminished.
Do you want revenge?
The devil amusingly smiles and coaxes Estelle. Estelle's eyes glowed with hatred and loneliness for a moment.
If you want, I'll send you to your brightest moment. What do you think?
Why? Estelle asked, since the devil doesn't do favors for no reason.
The reason? That's simple.
Estelle's soul shines dazzlingly and lights up the room. The devil smiled and said its reason. It wants Estelle's bright soul to perish forever.
You can crush them and let them die in despair. Isn't it thrilling just to imagine?
Estelle could not deny it. She imagined a revenge on them without missing a single moment.
Your soul will be gone anyway. 3 years at the most in humans' time. At your last moments, shouldn't you do what you want?
The devil spoke softly.
Say you want revenge on them, and I'll send you to their side. Just say the word.
I want it. The answer came straight out. It wasn't even a matter of concern for her in the first place. Estelle's face is pale and her darkened eyes are bloodshot as she smiled. I want it. Estelle's voice became much lower. Their death, pain, despair, scream. I want it all. The devil listened in delight as Estelle succumbs into darkness with her words. Estelle's voice was low, but more eerie. It was like a beast howling. The devil laughed contentedly by Estelle's satisfying answer.
My lovely Estelle, I will give you the blessing of the devil and wish for all your desires to be granted.
The devil muttered something before Estelle started losing her consciousness. The devil did this, and obviously for nefarious purposes. For the past 600 years, Estelle's mind began to get more damaged and torn, and she could no longer experience pure emotions such as passion or enthusiasm.
When you wake up, I'll give you a special gift.
However, this time, the devil wants Estelle's mind and soul to be completely broken. The most radiant soul to be dyed pitch black completely. That's its desire.
It's the gift you wanted the most, so please enjoy it as much as you can.
Will Estelle be able to exact complete revenge before her time runs out? That's all, folks. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment down below, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will be posting more videos about good reads you may like, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. See you soon.